Guys, welcome back to another NFR tier list, and today we have a tier list for iconic rap lyrics, and this is going to be fun because we have 40 different lyrics from the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and even 2020s, but what's cool is that Ant doesn't actually know these lyrics,
What's going on, guys?
He's going to be reacting to some of these, and listen, just because a lyric's iconic doesn't mean that it's that fucking good, all right? So I'm going to say that off the top.
All right, I'm down.
Let's get things started. The first one. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For Real, You the Only Father That I Ever Knew by J. Cole off of No Role Models.
Where would I put this?
Where would you put this one?
Okay, this one's so interesting because it's kind of like the lyric of the album. I feel as if it's like one of the most quotable J. Cole lyrics that we've ever gotten. I would say, for how iconic it is, probably amazing. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not a perfect bar, but like, I mean, what else are you gonna get from J. Cole that's on that type of
I think it's cool because like it fits the song so well. Like saying that like a father off of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or any TV show is someone that you kind of idolize and look up to when you don't have that figure in your actual life. It's pretty cool,
and it plays into the theme of the album as well.
Yeah, so I think amazing is fair. I mean, it's not like a mind-blowing bar or anything, but
would you put it down to great then?
Maybe.
Okay, we go great.
Let's go great on it, bro.
Okay,
we got to be a bit harsher this time around, all right?
Let's do it.
Next up, I'm a motherfucking boner. I got a motherfucking boner. This is Smoke Perp off of the Tim Westwood freestyle.
I love how you did like the whole cadence at the end.
Yeah, I had to. This is funny because like, bro, there's no setting or any context where I would need to know that someone has a fucking boner. I don't care if it's Smoke Perp. I don't care if it's you or anyone, bro.
But the best way is like how he doubles up with it. It's how he doubles up with it. He's like, not only do I have a boner, but I am a boner. And I mean, like, hey, listen, all jokes aside, I mean, the freestyle is horrible, bro. That is one of the worst freestyles that I've ever heard. But Smoke Perp has some decent music. Death Star's pretty cool, but this is kind of like the lowest he's ever gone with like his lyrics.
I get that he was saying like the stupidest shit that came to mind, but like, how does that even enter your fucking brain, bro? But I mean, listen.
You know what he wrapped up with it after? Like, do you know what he rhymed with
I don't remember how we ended it up.
Good.
But yeah, either bad or mid. Like, I'm thinking maybe mid because it doesn't bring a smile to my face every time I hear it.
No, it's a bad lyric.
Okay, we're going to go with bad with that one. But next up, Real G's Move in Silence Like Lasagna.
Okay,
Lil Wayne from 6 Foot 7 Foot.
This is incredible. This is like literally one of his best like punchlines he's ever had, bro. So I mean,
the only thing is though, if you do remove the G from lasagna, doesn't it become lasagna?
Yeah, I mean, but real G's move in silence like lasagna, like the whole thing of like the G and then playing into the silent G. Of
yes,
like
but it's like it's the G and N
together. Do I actually have to explain you this lyric? No,
like,
I'm saying
I get the lyric. I'm just saying like the actual pronunciation of the G and N. That's what gives you that ñ sound.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So like without it, it would just be lasagna.
I know, but you have the G in there.
I know, whatever. It's still a silent G. It still works. I'm just being a bit of an asshole with it. But no, I think it's an amazing bar.
You wouldn't go perfect on this? Like, how much more iconic do you have
Yeah, it
than
probably
this?
is the most iconic fucking bar of our
come
time.
on. We got to
Let's go perfect.
Let's go lasagna perfect.
All right, next up. Yo, his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom spaghetti, Eminem, lose yourself.
The whole mom spaghetti meme has gotten really sick, especially like, throughout like the years and people using it in different comedic value. But all jokes aside, like it sets up the perfect picture for the song. So even on a more of a serious note, like it's a really well-written lyric, bro. And it kind of already takes you into the scene. Like, don't tell me when you don't read that lyric, bro, like you're automatically within like the landscape of where like Eminem's at in that rap battle.
The imagery is amazing.
It's incredible.
Like to show someone's nerves before a performance or something, like he got that spot on. I would go perfect with this one too.
I would go perfect with it.
All right, next up we do have Poopity Scoop, Scoop Diddy Whoop, Whoop-dee Scoop Dee Poop by Kanye West on Lift Yourself. This one became iconic just because of the whole situation where he had crafted that beat for Drake, and then before Drake could rap over it, he released it by saying the most gibberish nonsense that he could have thought of.
You know what I think this is? This is one of like the worst cases of like a perfectly crazy beat being like wasted, bro. It's a shame because I would have loved to see, Drake rap over that and actually see what was the original title for it? It's Lift Yourself.
It's Lift Yourself.
It's Lift Yourself. So like who knows what Lift Yourself could have became, and then you kind of get that singing and you're like, sheesh, that's really
I think
great.
Drake was willing to pay like $3 million for it or something. Don't quote me on that, but I heard a rumor of that. I mean, that just shows you how luscious and how fantastic Drake could have sounded on it, but Kanye just took a big shit on it, bro.
It's one of the biggest cases of blue balls that I possibly have gotten within music. So I mean, man,
bad.
I think it's bad. It's most definitely
bad. But next up, we have everybody gonna respect the shooter, but the one in front of the gun lives forever. This is Kendrick on Money Trees.
This is one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar lyrics. Hey, you chose good lyrics today. I fuck with this.
Yes,
this has been a good tier list so far. So, okay, going back to that song, bro. It's low key another like lyric that kind of defines the album to a certain extent, bro. Just, because Kendrick obviously comes to like this huge spiritual awakening within the album, and him kind of taking a different course with his life. And I feel like that quote itself perfectly describes like the spiritual transformation that Kendrick's going through on GKMC. So on a written level, I think it passes the test with a fucking flying score. And then you look at the actual quotable itself, like it's so memorable, bro. It's actually super iconic for his catalog.
It's one of those, it's perfect. It's one of those hooks that actually gets you thinking. Like, yes, someone might get like that instant respect, and I would say praise by those around him for doing a hit or whatever case may be. But it's really that person that tragically lost their lives that's going to be remembered and that's going to actually be commemorated. So beautiful line from Kendrick. But next up, 100 G's in my jeans, I'm a genius. Mac Miller on 100 Grandkids. This has always been one of my favorite quotes, bro. And I think that that triple G wordplay is fucking brilliant.
Man, we
bro.
should do a lyric breakdown actually for this bar. It's one of the best bars of his career, low key, and it's coming off of 100 Grandchildren, which is one of my favorite personal Mac Miller songs. I mean, the inspiration that 100 Grandkids actually gave me to build up NFR and to actually get into my content and to go with it was crazy, especially that second. I'm super inspired by 100 Grandkids.
His mom actually didn't like want him to have a kid. She's like, take your time and shit. Like, he just did it for the purpose of the song.
That's great, but it's still a beautiful
It
concept,
is,
though.
course.
Absolutely, because it's how Mac Miller was feeling, and I feel like even going back to 100 Grandkids, there's a lot of like emotional depth to that song when it comes to success, making it, the sacrifice that comes with it. So, bro, are we going perfect again? Like, what's going on?
I think it's an amazing one. I don't know if it's on the level of the others. I would go amazing with that one. But next up,
fine.
Hey, somebody grab him some clippers. His fucking beard is weird.
Oh my goodness.
MGK, Rap Devil. The most astonishing thing about this fucking bar is that this is how he started a diss song to Eminem. This was like the opening fucking punchline, bro. Like, how do you have the nerve to have such a weak bar start off your diss track?
I mean, it was a weird way to start it off. The whole beef was kind of played a bit weirdly too on MGK's part. It was just like that this song was him calling Eminem washed up and how like no one cares about him anymore, and like yet like one of Eminem's like biggest albums probably sells more than his whole catalog. So I mean, already you don't even understand like where he's coming from, and to start off with like picking at someone's beard, bro, like, what do you mean the beard's weird? It's 45-year-old Eminem. Like, if the guy wants to grow out his fucking beard, let the guy do what he wants. So I mean, I think it's a mid lyric. Like, I don't think it's a bad lyric.
I think it's mid too.
It's a bit corny, and in the place of the diss, it just didn't really work well.
All right, next up, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Let me handle my business. Damn, Jay-Z, Diamonds from Sierra Leone remix. It's just like, it's something that's so simple. Like, we have to appreciate the simple things in hip hop, and it's like separating one word and splitting it up into two. That's all he really does here. But the effect of him being an actual business is crazy, bro.
Yeah, but
because
he uses the word business and man in like three different ways here. It's low key, like it's a bar with a triple entendre, if I'm not mistaken. Because like he says, "I'm a businessman." Like, how to go over the bar once again?
Yeah, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
There we go.
Let me handle my business. Damn.
Okay. I thought he said, "Let me handle my business, man."
No.
It's still an interesting bar though, just because like again, it perfectly encapsulates what's like what Jay-Z's whole career means to, let's say, his fan base.
Jay-Z the mogul.
Exactly, and just it's stuck so well over the years. So I think it's great.
I think it's a great one.
I think it's a great bar.
Definitely. Next up though, we have. I just fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip-flops. I just had some bitches and I made them lip lock. That's Future on Thought I Was a Drought. I mean, DS2 is so fucking iconic, and like that's the way that he kind of starts off the album, and I just love it, bro. Did
you ever see like Metro's experience while making that song and what it was actually happening?
No.
Like, bro, like it was. If you guys want to go understand more of the incident with Thought It Was a Drought and who he's referencing, you guys could go check it out on Genius.
Wasn't that Scottie Pippen's
it was Scottie
wife
Pippen's
or something?
wife. Yeah, if you guys want to go check that out, it's online. It's been written on many different times. But Metro was just explaining how like it was just a natural moment in the studio, and like it happened right after, and Metro
like
was
he recorded it right after he did what he did.
Like, and he's like, bro, like this, it was one of the craziest like things I ever witnessed. So, dude, it's one of the most savage, like most like crazy.
You think it was the day of?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Listen, go watch the interview. You'd have to see it. I'll show you after the recordings. But it's
like,
quite
you think he went from Scotty's house to like the studio? Right after?
No. I don't know. Okay. I wasn't with Mr. Future Hendrix that day, but still super iconic. But I never found like the craziest bar, you know.
I think it's good. It's
I
just
think
it's
it's a
super
good bar.
iconic, but it's not like, I would say astonishing. So yeah, we'll put it into good. But next up, we have I Never Sleep Because Sleep is the Cousin of Death by Nas, and that's off of New York State of Mind. And this to me is definitely one of the most iconic, just showing you the fear and the paranoia that Nas or someone like Nas living in the ghetto that he lived in during that time in the 90s would feel, bro, and experience that like you're scared to shut your eyes at night. And that like sleeping is kind of leading yourself vulnerable to your enemies. Like that's just one line holds so much weight. I think it's amazing.
I think it is an amazing. Oh yeah, really? You wouldn't
Amazing
go
or perfect?
No, it's perfect.
I'm good with perfect too.
It's easily one of the most quotable like lines out of the whole fucking rap genre, and
That's on New York State of Mind, by the way. Yeah.
absolutely, and it's a classic, bro, as you said, and you kind of see that in so many different ways. Like, is it because like your eyes are shut, but you're still low key awake and you're still in your body? So does that mean it's related? Like, there's always such a fine line with Nas's lyrics, and that's a perfect showcase of it right there. But Lou, let's go on to the next one. What do you
Absolutely.
got?
So that's perfect. But next up, we have She Say, Do You Love Me? I Tell Her Only Partly. I Only Love My Bed and My Mama. I'm Sorry. So, of course, that's Drake on God's Plan. We didn't choose like his best fucking bar, but I think that it is like his most iconic in recent time. And yeah, it's kind of weak. I mean, it's catchy when you're singing along to it, but like, Drake loves his mom in his bed. All right.
Yeah, I know. Like,
know,
it's never really been like my favorite bar. Being honest with you, I never really liked it all that much.
But people
either.
think it's deeper than what it is because, like, apparently Adonis's middle name is Mabed, and like he says, "I only love my bed and my mama." I don't know if you ever like.
I saw the translation with that. Yeah, I mean, I could see where you're coming from with it, but
I
mean,
don't think it's facts, but it's a cool kind
it
of
is.
like Easter egg within it. But
I mean, the lyric just doesn't do too much for me either. But I mean, it is a bit catchy. So
I'd go mid.
Yeah, you'd go mid with it.
I think it's a mid lyric.
I think it is a mid lyric.
All
Let's keep going on with
right.
this.
Next up we have Raindrop, Drop Top, Smoking on Cookie in the Hot Box, and that's of course Offset on Bad and Bougie. So I mean, this one's all right. It's kind of crazy how like that one hook kind of became memed out, but on that same token, it became a massive fucking hit song with a chorus that doesn't really make all that much sense, which is kind of impressive to me.
Yeah, but I mean,
know?
like, he's having fun, he's smoking in the hot box, he's chilling out, he's smoking his blunts, and it's also cool because, like, I always appreciated Offset's hooks over the years. I feel like even on something like Ric Flair Drip, he has a really nice knack at creating these earworms when it comes to his choruses. And this is, again, another display of that. And I do feel like it is one of the most quotable, let's say, phrases from that 2017 run that they had back then with Culture.
So what are you saying?
So I'd go good with it. I think it's cool. I have nothing more than that.
Yeah,
What would you do?
I could go mid or good.
I would go good with it. It's chill.
Go
But Bad
good?
and Bougie's fire as fuck,
All right, all right. Next up, Wow Wow Wow, Bitch I'm Lil Baby, and that's Lil Baby on Yes Indeed. I think it was kind of clever, to be honest with you, but
It made sense for the flow in the pocket that he caught, though, within the song. So you could even give him that as a plus.
yeah,
But it's
kind of like
it is the weakest part of the
it's
song.
too
you know?
on the money. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that's the perfect way to put it, bro.
It is
Like it's
too on
just
the money.
it's not necessary for that track, but it was funny upon first listen to hear him do that. A bit cheesy.
It did catch your attention.
I'd
though.
go mid on it. Though.
I would go mid on it.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, it's still cool though.
Yeah. Next up, though, I'm a fucking walking paradox. No, I'm not. By Tyler the Creator off of Yonkers.
That
and
whole song is fucking
I
crazy.
feel like that lyric kind of summarizes Tyler the Creator's career. The fact that he's a paradox, that he's kind of always showing you one side of himself and then showing you the flip side. He's never only one thing or belongs to one sound, and that kind of really represents him super well. So I'd go amazing on this one.
You'd go amazing. I would like. I mean, it's not the craziest like.
It's just like
play or like.
I'm thinking about it from like a meta level of like what it means to Tyler.
That's true. That is very true.
But the bar itself, I do agree, it's not super.
I'd go great with it at
mind-blowing.
most, to be honest. Even if you told me good, I'd be like, okay, that's cool.
We can go great.
I'd go great with it. What do we got next?
Next up, yo, I never fucked Wayne, I never fucked Drake. On my life, man, fuck's sake. Nicki Minaj off of Only, and this was a huge iconic moment just because there were always rumors of like who got together from the YMCMB crew and whatever else. But to see her start off, her verse with that was pretty
vicious.
crazy,
it was
bro.
fucking vicious, bro. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Throughout that whole verse, she's asserting her dominance and crazy.
She's kind of
fucking-
saying like, I didn't have to sleep with anyone to get in the position where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Of course, absolutely.
So-
And I do think like when you have to look at Nicki's career, it is a major statement for her within her catalog. But I mean, again, it's nothing. It's
good.
nothing, it's nothing too crazy.
I'd go good on
I
it.
would go good as well on it. Like, it's not one of her best bars that I've ever heard, but it definitely holds a place as one of her most iconic. So let's keep going on with
Next up, this is an all-time favorite of mine. Now it's clear that I'm here for a real reason, because he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing. That's 50 Cent on Many Men, and this is one of the coldest bars that you're ever gonna hear, bro. And just thinking about that song, Many Men, and what it meant, the true story behind it, and then him just closing off the song with that line, like, that just makes you take a double take right away.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I feel like I'm saying this for every song you brought on here, but it encapsulates the whole album perfectly, legit. Like, that whole gangster persona that 50's portraying throughout the album, but, you know, still showing that, like, you could get hit, but it's all about how, you know, you take that comeback and how you come through, and then you'll have the advantage over your opponent, and you'll be the last one standing, is kind of such a cool redemption story, and it's kind of like that gangster's paradise sort of feeling for 50. So I go perfect.
Yeah, and he's kind of telling you, like, I'm untouchable. Like, anyone that wants to come at me, I'll annihilate you and I'll be the last man standing. So just always been a powerful one. So I would go perfect as well. Next up, all my bitches come in pairs like balls in my nutsack. And that's Lil Yachty on I Spy. And I Spy is, of course, you know, it's one of the most streamed songs on Spotify. That was one of, like, the fan favorite lyrics off of that track. I mean, for Yachty standards, it was funny. Like, it plays into Yachty's, like, persona and, like, personality to when it comes to his music. So for the humor, I would go mid.
For the humor, I'd probably go mid as well, just because, like, it's such a stupid bar, bro. That's ridiculous to include that in your writing. But I mean, as you said, like, Yachty has this super playful and sort of charismatic energy that could, you know, let's say, be paired well with those types of bars. So it does make sense for men. There's a super lighthearted feeling to something like I Spy. So it never really threw off anything for the song for me. But when you go out into the actual bar, like, that's not great writing. So I would definitely go mid.
All right, next up. Sucker ass, I ain't got no motherfucking friends. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker, by Tupac. And this is off Hit 'Em Up. And this has to be the most savage way to start off a diss track that I've ever heard. And I feel like, you know, that must have been like a shock to Biggie and, like, to anyone listening to that record when it dropped, bro. Like, he went all the way in there.
Oh, it's deep. It's a very, very, very deep bar for
That's
sure.
like 3 insults in one line, bro.
It is. That's vicious. That is very vicious.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Diddy talk about that song on the Defiant ones? I just rewatched it, and, like, he was just saying about how, like, dude, like, if you respond to this, like, people are definitely gonna get hurt, and, like, those are serious fucking words, you know. You're putting that on a record. That's a studio record. Like, that's not you just, like, at a club, out of context, you know, while you're hammered, just saying something. Like, you went in with the intention to start off your song really jabbing at it. And I mean, listen, you know, hip hop's always been a very competitive sport, especially when it comes to the diss game. There's been numerous disses over the years that I could go over that play into the same realm of, like, savage as this one, but it's iconic, bro. It holds some weight. So
amazing. I think I'd go amazing.
I'd
on
go
this
amazing
one.
on it. Yeah.
All right.
Keep going.
Next up, you call her Stephanie. I call her Headphony. That's Young M.A. off of Ooh. And I feel like anytime I'm in a club or at a party, bro, this is the one line that everyone knows, bro.
It is.
There's like a build up to this fucking bar.
And it sounds so much better in the context of a party, or, like, because when you go through the song, you're like, and you're getting into it, your song, but you really think about it, you're like,
it's pretty bad.
That's a pretty bad bar.
Yeah. I'd go bad with it as well. Next up, we got a Thugger bar off the song Check. We got, if cops pull up, I put that crack in my crack.
I've seen Twitter, like, use this lyric in so many different instances when you have to describe Young Thug. And if you guys think this is the most outrageous Young Thug bar you've ever heard, please do a deep dive in his discography, because you'll find much worse than this. And
Absolutely.
It's cool, though, because it's kind of like the whole hype and segue into Check, and then boom, fucking the whole song drops, and you're just like, whoa, I'm in this fucking crazy universe that Young Thug is building. And yeah, the whole, like, crack word play was really well done there, but
it's not. It doesn't paint a pretty picture.
It doesn't.
We can put it that way.
No,
I would go mid on it, though.
Yeah.
You want to go bad? I'd go mid.
I'd go mid on it.
I'd go mid on it. It's kind of funny.
Bad, yeah.
Next up, though, I'm on that next shit now. I'm so 3008, you so 2000 and late. And that's Fergie off of Boom Boom Pow. And this is an interesting one just because when it comes to the Black Eyed Peas, they're always kind of infusing rap with, like, electronic music and pop and whatever else. But with this one, like, it is a futuristic sounding song, but it just felt a bit cheesy from Fergie. Like, I get it. You're making a statement that the song is futuristic and you're saying that you're from the year 3000 and everyone else is
Yeah, but that's
still
like
in the 2000s.
What year was that song released in?
I think it was '09.
Yeah, and like those are the iPod days. That's what this lyric brings me back to. I remember going to my cousin's house, and I'm not sure if I should probably say this on video, just because we were very different. Let's say this: music consumption was very different back then. That's at least what I'm gonna say. So this takes me back to like the LimeWire days, and like having your iPod and bumping Black Eyed Peas. I mean, I'd say that was maybe like my guilty pleasure as far as like music goes.
But this lyric itself, though, how would you rate it?
I fuck with it. I think it's cool, but like it's corny. Like it's really just like now in 2023 to speak about it. No, I'd go
mid on it, bro.
I would definitely go mid with it.
Yeah,
Keep
agreed.
going.
Next up, slob on my knob like corn on the cob. Check in with me and do your job. That's Juicy J off of Slob on My Knob. And yeah, listen, bro. When it comes to like sexual bars and wordplay, it's never usually my cup of tea. When it comes to this one, though, like it's just so iconic, and there's been so many people that have interpolated it, and like it is kind of creative, slob on my knob like corn on the cob. Like there was some thought that went behind that.
Definitely thought behind this. Like everything is perfectly connected together when it comes to the writing of the bars. So
I go great.
You go great on it.
I think it's a great. You want to go good?
Come on.
I get stooped down to good.
Let's go. Let's hold your horse. You started off this episode saying we have to be more strict, and this is what's going into great. All right, fuck it. Let's go good.
All right, let's do good. Next up, I'm the shit. I'm farting. I don't know how to potty. By Kodak Black off of Drowning. And this is always funny because like people have ripped you for liking Kodak Black's feature.
Super underrated verse. I'd still say it
on
bro.
Drowning. This one kind of just it takes me out of the song. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm enjoying somewhat the verse, and then this line comes in and it just it takes me out of the element, bro. Like
Kodak is
it has nothing to do with the previous line or the line that follows.
But you know what's crazy about like Kodak is that he's a fantastic writer. Like you could really go into his discography and find fantastic written songs. Example, something like Unexplainable or Everything 1K. Like he does have those records, but you will find him like kind of diving into a bit of banter sometimes, especially within his writing. So yeah, I don't think the bar's all.
I think it's bad.
You think it's bad?
I think it's a bad bar. Absolutely.
I never like to do Kodak like that, but I think it is a bad bar.
All right, next up. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up Magazine by Biggie off of Juicy, and I love this one so much just because he's talking about finally having made it in the game and how like he was a fan of this shit, just like everyone listening to his music. Like he used to read up Word Up Magazine, which was like kind of the magazines they had before Double XL or The Source. It was kind of like this teen gossip magazine where they would sometimes showcase artists like MC Lyte and other big artists during the 80s and stuff. So I think that like just getting that inner fan experience from Biggie on his like biggest song is such a moment.
Not only that, but like it's all a dream quote has been used in so many different pieces of art now. Even looking at it, I feel like it's a slogan for life, to be able to chase your dreams and to be able to go after what you want to accomplish. That goes beyond the music itself. So
perfect.
I go amazing or perfect. What do you want to go with?
I'd go perfect. I think
go perfect
in terms of iconic, yeah, bro.
Absolutely.
It's definitely
okay,
on that level. Next up, to the window, to the wall, till the sweat drop down my balls. That's Big Sam off of Get Low.
Iconic.
Yeah,
that's
definitely iconic.
You know what's crazy is that like you're at a wedding, you're chilling out, and like bro, you'll see a fucking 7-year-old grandmother like recite that lyric.
Yeah.
And like, jeez, bro, what's going on?
Everybody
over here?
was hip to this shit, bro.
Like people are literally talking about like sweat dripping off your nuts, which is pretty fucking crazy if you think about it. And I mean, yeah, I just don't. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm being honest.
It's a unifying bar, bro. Like everyone comes in on that shit when they hear it. It's impossible not to sing along with that.
That's very true.
Like you said, grandmothers, mothers, bro. Anybody, bro. Anybody's up for game. But yeah, I would say, I don't know, good.
Yeah, let's go good on it. It has that humor though.
Yeah,
it does have that humor though.
Yeah, and in terms of how iconic it is, I think it has to slot in there. But next up, we actually have a JID bar off of the song Never, and here it goes. What you call a chick that don't suck dick, you don't.
Yeah, this one's always being used, on Twitter, and like I've seen this in so many different comment sections. The Never story is so well written just because of its cleverness, and this is another display of clever wordplay. And man, just like in the context of that whole beat switch, it was a perfect way to start off that verse as well. So I would probably go great with it. I think it actually does have good wordplay.
Yeah, it's one of JID's most witty one-liners that I've ever heard, and I think it is great for sure. But next up, Bought a crib for my mama off of that Mumbling Shit by Playboi Carti off of R.I.P. And I feel like this was like Playboi Carti being like, fuck everybody who put me as one of the poster boys for mumble rap. I made it now. I'm one of the biggest artists in the music industry, and I did it off of that mumbling shit. And what's crazy too is that like Tyler the Creator shouted it out, I think when he won the Grammy for Igor, saying how like that was one of the most, I would say, impactful bars that he had heard over time, just because of how much that meant to someone like Carti.
Yeah, because everyone was trying to box Carti in at the beginning of his career as someone that was just making like this mindless and senseless music that would never have any sort of impact or that would never see the light of day. And now we're in 2023 and we're seeing that his music is some of the most influential and most sought after within the genre. So not only has it aged in a perfect way, but as you were saying, it's super fucking inspiring, man. Like, it just goes to show how sometimes things seem so simple, but yet they have such a big impact on a larger scale, and I really do like that. I'd go Amazing or Perfect, bro. I'm being honest.
Really?
I'd go Amazing or
No,
Perfect.
you gotta, no. At the most, great, bro. I'd gotta go great at the most.
You'd go
on
great
this
at the
one,
most?
yeah.
Fuck it. Okay, fine. Give Carti great.
We'll go with great for that one. Next up, Cash Rules Everything Around Me, Cream, Get the Money, Dollar Dollar Bill, Y'all, by Method Man off of Cream. And
how many times was this sampled, bro?
like fucking thousands.
I think it's easily one of the most sampled lyrics within all of hip hop.
Absolutely,
interpolations,
bro.
and even like, let's say, putting it in back of like your beats or whatever it is, having it more as a melody.
I think we just go perfect with this, bro.
Oh,
what else
absolutely.
is there to say?
Do you think it's the most like? You could make the argument it's the most iconic rap lyric of all time.
Yeah,
I think you could
it's
genuinely
the most
put it in that
iconic
conversation.
acronym that we ever heard in the hip hop lexicon, you could say. So, yeah, I would go perfect on this. Next up. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished when I bought that Aston Martin. Y'all thought it was rented. That's Meek Mill off of Dreams and Nightmares. And
I got this wrong, actually, on the Fill in the Blank on TikTok.
Right,
I didn't get this right. People were roasting me for it. I suck with lyrics.
that
Honestly,
was a major fuck up.
It was a major fuck
Yeah.
up. But I mean, like, I'm not the craziest Meek
I
Mill
suck
fan.
with lyrics too.
Yeah,
bro.
and like I'm not the craziest Meek Mill fan when it comes to like junking his music. So like, already I'm not so familiar with his vocabulary and what he puts into his lyrics. But yeah, when you have to talk about just an intro, bro, like a way to start off your fucking album, I mean, incredible what Dreams and Nightmares not only accomplished for that project, but also accomplished for Meek Mill. And it's the most iconic bar of his whole career. I mean, how many times have you seen this song and that bar specifically being played, let's say in locker rooms, let's say in Super Bowl fucking games, or even in these crazy fucking events? So I think it's fantastic. I'd probably go Amazing with it.
I'd go Amazing with it too. Like, he's literally, telling all his haters and all of his enemies, like you thought that I was done with. Like, I'm about to give you one of the craziest verses and annihilate anyone who ever came for my ass. And that's what he proceeded to do after that bar. So definitely amazing. But next up, we have a simple one. It's by Snoop Dogg off of Bitches Ain't Shit off the Chronic. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Yeah, and do you ever see his interview where, like, I believe it was Angie Martinez. Who was it that asked him about his lyrics all those years later?
I think it was Angie.
I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah.
Guys, correct me in the comment section. And he's like, I live up to all my lyrics. I put them out there and I did what I did, and I have no shame with it. So, I mean, even going back to the bar, like, what it plays into the production and, like, just that song, bro. It's so iconic. It's kind of like the pinnacle of, like, let's say fucking G-Funk as well. And the amount of times I've seen people use this quote, even outside
of hip hop, yeah,
everyone, bro. Like, not only to target, like, women, but even to just target everything, bro. Like, what you see as your perception ain't shit, bro. Like, it's all fucking tricks
deep.
and like fucking smoking mirrors and shit. So I mean, yeah, I think it's good or great.
I'd go great on it.
You'd go
just
great
for
on it?
how iconic it is. I would go great.
All right,
but
go for
next up, this one, I don't know how this song isn't banned at this point, but like, this is really fucked, and people are always talking about it because they don't know how it made it onto the record. But put Molly all in her champagne, she ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it, by Rick Ross off of You Won't Even Know It. How is this allowed, bro?
No, you shouldn't be allowed to say those types of things. But I mean, like, even going back to the bar, he had received major backlash for that whole thing. So I believe he had lost his Reebok deal for it as well. He had lost his Reebok deal for it as well. I mean, listen, it's definitely not a good look for Rick Ross. It was definitely a mistake, and I think it's a bad bar, bro. It's distasteful.
Yeah, it's definitely bad. But next up, you thought I was feeling you? That guy a munch, he a eater. He ate it for lunch. That's Ice Spice off of Munch. And, of course, it's been probably the most quoted lyric of this entire year. And it's fucking awful, bro.
No, it's really not good.
Like calling someone that does what she's describing a munch. Like, it's so it's just so basic and
It's
fucking
off-putting.
cheesy,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Like,
off-putting. Like, you listen to that, you're like, how could I get into your music? So I'd go bad again,
I'd
bro.
go bad with that. We have a lot of bads today, bro.
We have a lot of bads today. Well, I mean, your choices have been fucking crazy. I'm not
Are
gonna
they
lie
not
to you.
iconic, though?
I mean, they've been talked about a lot within
Yeah.
the genre, so I'll give it to you. All right.
Absolutely. Okay, so next up, crush a bit, little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling right, 2 a.m. summer night. That's Kid Cudi off of Pursuit of Happiness, and that's how he starts off the song. And it always puts me in a zone, bro. It always puts me in this calm and kind of peaceful mood of just sitting back and enjoying, the party around you. And I think that he accomplishes really just setting the mood right for that track.
Oh,
That
absolutely,
line.
he does. And going back to that track, it's one of the most quotable lyrics from not only that, but like Project X. That movie's incredible, and that hook sort of plays into the whole movie, and how iconic that movie was, at least from my childhood as well. I'd probably go great on it, great or good.
I'd go good on it, to be
yeah,
honest.
I'd probably go good. It's a good bar.
Nothing
It's fine.
crazy though. Next up, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. 21 Savage off a bank account. And listen, I get why the song blew up the way that it did. I don't think it's anywhere near 21 Savage's best work. And I just think it's easy to kind of rap along to. I think it's also just something that's relatable. Kind of chasing those M's or whatever the case may be. So I get what he was going for. It works for the context of the song, but as a lyric, it's kind of bad.
It is a bit of a bad lyric, but it kind of like it gets catchy to a certain extent. He's
counting 1 to 10, bro. You know what I mean?
7, 8.
Well,
And
actually to 8, but yeah.
yeah, but I mean that's what's cool about it. You're engaged into this song. It's good, but
Okay, listen, bro. If you want to go mid, we'll go mid, but we're not pushing it higher than that.
no, we'll go mid on it. Fine.
All
okay.
right, let's do mid on that one. We have about 5 left. Next up, busting all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put the stick in a box. By Roddy Ricch off of The Box, of course, and I don't know what the box is to this day.
I mean, there's a lot of different interpretations for the word box, so you can have
Yeah.
that conversation if you want to. But at face value, I mean, it's so simplistic. It's I know it ended up blowing up the whole song, but
It's his delivery and melody, I feel like, that blew it up. But
the lyrics itself, no, I'd go mid again.
I'd go mid for sure. Next up, Sundays in the City, moving slow. 30, 30, 3500 for the coat. Travis Scott off of 3500. And I love like that glitchy kind of feel that he adds by repeating 30, 30 all those times. Like that was a really cool component to that lyric. And even the whole thing of like, I think it was the coat that Kim Kardashian bought for one of her kids costing $3,500. Like to put that in a song, like does it get more luxurious and kind of esoteric than that? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
And also, that hook is iconic too, bro. Like that's probably one of the like biggest quotables off of Rodeo. And going back to house parties and club settings back when we were younger, that was a major lyric for everyone. Everyone was getting into it. So
I think it's good.
I think it's good though. I don't think it's anything too crazy.
All right, next up. I feel like I'm 21 Savage. I pull up and fuck on your daughter. That is Ugly God on Water and always brings a smile to my face. We need Ugly God to make a comeback, bro. I haven't heard from him in such a long fucking time, man. But
he makes super fun and playful music.
He does. He's kind of in that Lil Yachty kind of lane to some degree.
He really is.
You know?
People were roasting him because like for his first like big boy purchase, he got a Jeep. You know, like one of his biggest. And people were like, "Oh, you got a fucking Jeep," and like people were looking at him and kind of like clowning him for that, and he was just like, "Bro, like that's just my favorite car." And like I feel like everyone just kind of picked on Ugly God like way too much, like when his career was kind of booming up. And man, whatever he's up to now, I think he's still releasing music though. Like salute to Ugly God because he had an iconic run. But back to the bar. No, it's bad. It's a bad bar though.
Yeah,
I said all that, but it's
it's
finally
a bad bar.
It's finally a bad bar.
All right, next up. This is actually Logic off of 44 Bars, one of his best lyrical displays, but this is the lyric. People in my ear telling me talk that shit. Actions speak louder than words. I'd rather walk that shit.
What does that mean?
Like, like he's committing an action by walking instead of like talking. Like, because he's saying, people in my ear telling me talk that shit. Actions speak louder than words. I'd rather walk that shit.
Oh, that's not that good. Why, you think that's one of his like greatest lyrical displays?
No, I'm saying 44 bars as a song is, but like that bar is pretty fucking weak in comparison to everything else. But people refer back to this bar for some reason. I don't know why.
Who the fuck's referred back to this bar? I've never heard this bar. I'm being honest with you.
On like
never
Reddit
heard
communities and shit, like people put this at like as one of their favorite Logic bars. And I'm like,
I don't know. Okay, listen. I mean, if people fuck with it, people fuck with it.
Kind
But
of
it's just
corny to me.
it's just such a simplistic bar, though. Like it's okay. Like you're walking the walk. do your thing, man. But I mean, yeah,
I'd go mid.
good. Yeah, it's good writing though. It's not bad. It's not a
I
bad. It's not a
guess.
mid bar. It's
I
not poorly
guess.
written. I get the point of it. It's just like it's easily one of the like weakest like iconic bars that we've had tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
what
let's
do you
go.
go-
Let's go good on that, I guess,
All right.
if you want. Last one though for today, we have ASAP Rocky off of Goldie, and there's so many you could have chosen for Rocky, but this one I feel like is iconic. I'm early to the party, but my Rari is the latest.
Oh, crazy!
It just
yeah,
it
sets the tone for Goldie. That's exactly what that bar does. You want to talk about luxury at its highest point? Talk to ASAP Rocky about Goldie, and this is in like the top percentile of my favorite ASAP Rocky songs. If I had to rank all of ASAP Rocky's songs, Goldie would definitely go into the top percentile. So I'll go.
I think it's good. Once again,
No, let's go great
Wanna
on
go
it.
great on it? Okay,
Let's
that's
go
fair.
great. It sets mood really well for the song, and I feel like it's had a good ring over the years.
yeah,
So,
absolutely, and it kind of like just plays into like I would say kind of that swagger and charisma that Rocky has always had, just being playful and showing you that he's gonna be cocky when he needs to be, and it'll kind of play off super well. But that sums up the actual list. We had a lot of bad ones that actually ended up ranking in there.
There was also like some distasteful ones, but over the
Yeah,
years, that's
bro.
crazy how like what's come out of the genre too. So very interesting
Yeah.
to see, at least from our part. But guys, let us know in the comment section, what is your favorite bar that we ended up bringing to the table today, and let us know where we got it right. Let us know where we got it fucked up. And actually, if you're new to the NFR experience, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching this tier list, and we'll catch you in the next one.